Good day, everyone, and welcome to Strange Antiquities, or at least the demo that is part of the Steam Next Fest, which is going on right now. But by the time this video goes out, it's probably not going to be going on still. However, you can still play the demo. The link for that will be in the description below. Go ahead and check out the game. I think this is going to be a hidden gem, so let's take a look at it. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop Strange Antiquities in my hands. None of us knew that, by then, the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. Alright, so here we are, day 1, Thursday. We can use arrow keys and WASD to navigate around the shop, so the shop is actually bigger than what we see here. We also have this area here. Yeah, that's the basics of the controls there. Basically, we're going to be filling in here at the it's basically the Strange Antique Shop, which has various artifacts that may or may not have some magical aspects to them. As a I'm still struggling with that word. I mean, it's bad because it's Greek origin. I know the word. I just have trouble saying it, and so this game's very bad for me. All right, let's just ring the bell and begin the day. All right, we have our first. All right, Eli White. I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care with some reluctance, I might add. Thanks for having confidence in us, although it is probably the right feeling to have. Make use of the reference materials here. Take this. Okay, thank you. There's an index in the back that may be helpful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. You know what we're going to be doing. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the book really quickly here. Strange Artifacts, A Guide to Occult Objects, T.S. Gill. Alright, so we have a table of contents here, and so here's, I guess, some different kinds of artifacts. And alright, yeah, this gets us to the index. Okay, so we can look up, certain things, like a black heart is referenced in the lamb siphon, and okay, so we can interact. All right, yeah, I like this. This is straightforward. I guess. Oh, we can put the book on the shelf. All right, that works. Can we get this? Let's put this plant out of the way. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and ring the. Well, actually, hang on a second. There's All right, so the thaumaturge. Hey, I said it. Eli White. He's a collector and curator of powerful objects. The quest to unearth and understand each new object has been a driving force in his adult life. Okay. Yeah, he did. All right. So basically, he really likes the cat named Jupiter, apparently. Or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Yeah. I mean, everything I'm reading here basically says it's a ordinary cat. So, yes. Well, hi there, Jupiter. Yep, there you go. Oh, we got to pet the cat. All right, let's begin the day, I guess. Thomas Pope. Congratulations. Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. Not all full of himself. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Harmish. That makes more sense and is less disturbing. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Oh, actually know what that's referring to. All right. So he's looking for a hunter's boon. Um, let's consult the guide here. Go back over here. Hunter's boon. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. So yeah, basically, a hunting trophy is what we're kind of looking for here. All right, let's start kind of from left and work our way right, maybe. All right, so we got a locked area here, so hopefully we don't have to gain access to anything in there. Plus, we're not really supposed to be accessing anything locked. We can actually right-click on objects here to find out about, so we can look at the color and the composition of different aspects of it. So there's some gold there, there's some silver here. This is gold, this is stone. Likewise, we can also get like a sense of touch. This is cool, this is warm. It's raised detailing. I mean, it's really neat how much we can explore the artifacts. We have nothing to remark about hearing or smelling anything coming from it. This is a kind of really neat one, is inner perception. Some objects we get like this feeling from, and that can help identify what the object is, I guess. So basically, that's what this game is about, is we got to try and identify a hunter's boon and give it to him. So this has some little, like, horns on it, so that could be easily, like, a trophy from something. But this item here in particular kind of stands out to me. Let's take a look at it. It's yellow and brown. It's a yellow-white color. Smooth, but with hard ridges, and that's smooth. I have nothing to remark about its smell, or it's not making any noise. Gives me a sense of power. Well, this looks like some kind of, like, tooth or claw, I'd say. And we got a sense of power from it. Again, nothing else here really looks like it would be a hunter's trophy of some kind. So let's go ahead and try this. All right, we're going to use item. Identified. This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sense of power. So yeah, we got that one right off the bat. That was pretty easy to figure out. And we got some stuff in return here. So, Ozic Ring. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Crochan, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin away, or vermin at bay, I should say. Some say that they can hear Crochan's unearthly hiss when they hold an oasis ring up to their ear. So basically, this has just been added to our book there, so that's useful. So we can add labels to objects, but there's actually a setting that I have enabled here for this that will automatically do that. So this has already got its item already labeled, which is nice. That's going to save us time. All right. Let's ring the bell. Easy, Jupiter. It's just a customer. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide under deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he past 2 winters agone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Okay. Again, that's actually something I've heard of. Alright, shadow hold. A shadow hold or Oshatic vessel is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an Oshatic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. So, yeah, this is actually something, so far, Hunter's Boon and a Shadow Hold, these are actual things that exist in kind of like, occult, throughout the world and stuff. Specifically, though, the interesting thing is that there is actually a parallel between two very distant, things there. Um, I can't remember where the shadow hold originated from. It might have been, well, I don't want to say anything on that, but the interesting thing is that it's actually very similar in a way to a dream catcher when you think about it. So yeah, we're looking for something like a jar or bottle with an intricate pattern. Um, this kind of meets that. It's got a intricate pattern on it. It's a bottle of some kind. Um, I'd like to point out the cork is spongy. Let's just all right. This is our best bet, but let's just quickly take a look around. Well, that's not really a jar, and that's we got a bunch of talismans. Yeah, this is the only container-like object, so let's go with that. Identified. This item is a container of some kind. The design on the bottle is the same as the sketch. Oh, I didn't know it was the exact same. I didn't honestly pay that much attention. I was just looking for an intricate design. Sunbond. A sunbond is a small and lightweight design. Oh, is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly, and made of non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and the light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. All right, so that's been added to our notes, if you will. Yeah, I already have the auto label on. I'm glad I had figured that out. Now, I'm not really sure what this dial represents, but we're currently in the green, so that's good. I don't think we want that to go down. Easy, Jupiter. Okay. What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. I think this whole town does. A letter for you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Postman. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. Oh dear. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the. I assume that's an H on the shin. Interesting. Charlie Weathers. Okay. So, Okay, so yeah, I was wondering what that is. So we have like this archive here where we can, I guess, put letters. All right, and we can access it through there. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. One thing that is recommended is that you kind of explore things like there's this over here, which okay, that raises that up. I mean, I figured there was something there. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff to kind of explore here. Okay, we got a scale and some weights. All right. Um, kind of pointless door there in a way. All right, we got like some extra storage space here underneath the counters and stuff. Now, I noticed there's these things here. We like Oh. Okay, so we can like put stuff here. Do we have to Hmm. Interesting. I'm sure there's a puzzle there. I'm just not sure what that puzzle would be yet. But yeah, there's definitely some kind of like weighted puzzle thing there. And we got drawers. Oh, okay. Explore. On thaumic fields, all thaumic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thaumic lens. Oh, well, we want to find a thaumic lens, I guess. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over years. Okay. Well, we'll just leave that. Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. EW. Alright. And what's this? Ooh, okay, so this is another item. We should probably place that somewhere. These look like items as well. So let's place these here. We could probably do with some organization. And what's this? Oh wow, here's our archive. Okay, so here's the map of the area. Okay, so this is all of Undermere. And it looks like I think we can travel. I think we can travel to different parts. Well, there was that mention of like the docks. Let's use the guide here. So it's gonna be like 23, right? 23. The Mary Bell. Oh, that's a boat. Okay. Oh, the boatyard. 8. All right. I think can we go there? Okay, so the yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timber covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. You must be from Strange Antiques, he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of browned papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Sleep vessel. The 6 points of a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 Phalmic disciplines: Selenic, Dradic, Noctic, Noctis, yeah, Noctic, Diurnic, Wixic, and Mentic. I want to make sure I say them right. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though undreamed nightmare. Though the undreamed nightmare within are beginning to. Oh, okay, I see. As though I had the mouse covering. As though the. That makes more sense. Okay, there's like a second paper. Oh. Apparently, as an afterthought, and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. I've no use for it, he says. Don't even know what it is for. Oh dear, what did we get? Oh, that's interesting. Item discovered. Okay. So we got another item for the shop. Already, we've got some kind of organization. We kind of got like these statues. Can we put that there? All right, yeah, we got like statues here. We got our book there. I guess we should try and like hang necklaces together, maybe? I'm just gonna do a little organizing here. I mean, we'll keep those 2 together, I guess. And we'll keep those there. I mean, we there's a lot of, like, pendants and stuff. Alright, while we're at it. Okay, so if we hit explore, that quickly brings up the map. So where are we on the map? Because they mentioned there's something stored next door. So where is it? Strange Antiques is 29. So I guess this is technically next door. Ah, here we are. The proprietor, Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiques next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me, but I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. Oh, wow, we got 3 more items. Oh, joy. I'm regretting doing this. I'm regretting doing this. Alright, so we got another pendant. Another, like... Okay, let's move the book there for now. We'll put that bottle there. Glad we didn't have that bottle earlier. Can we put the bottle next to the... Alright, yeah, if we move it over. Okay. So, yeah, some organization needs to be done. Alright. Well, I guess on to the next customer, because... Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed last night on Princess Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town out of Clankbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. Okay, Julia. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. A moon heart. Well, we're gonna need to consult the book for sure. Moon heart, moon heart, moon heart. Oh. Oh. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to consult the index here. Moon heart. Moon heart. Selenic totem is where it's referenced in. Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Okay, something that references the moon or the night. I see two objects immediately that catch my eye, and maybe a third here. We got this bat and we got an owl. Both are nightly creatures, but it mentions something carved, and this looks more like a carved object. So let's start with it. Color and composition, it's a light colored wood. It's in the shape of an owl. It's got a polished finish to it. I have nothing to remark about its smell, and it doesn't seem to emit any sound, but my inner perception says I am overcome by a warm, loving emotion. Okay, let's take a look at the bat really quickly here. Color and composition. It's made of iron, so that seems unlikely. It's got a black gemstone. It's cool to the touch. Every sound has become both louder and clearer. Okay, so this... I have nothing to remark about its inner perception. Alright, let's try the owl statue. Identified. This is a carved totem. Check. The owl is associated with the night. It bears a concealed crescent shape. Oh, yeah, it does. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, there is. Alright, I should have noticed that. I feel rather stupid now. Evocant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. An evocant, huh? Okay, well, thank you for that. I guess that's where these weights come in the scale. Interesting. Oh, I just realized that this also has, like, thing on it. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, that's less than a... Well, we need the pound on. So that's less than a pound. Interesting. I'm kind of just curious. This is exactly a pound. Interesting. Hopefully that doesn't come up because we're going to have to weigh some stuff then. Alright, we got another person. Edmund Bishop. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. I would too. A voice of Cyranos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Well, as long as you're aware of that, I think that's okay. I mean, he's at least aware of stuff here. Voice of Cyranos. The name Voice of Cyranos is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a torque. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, that is right there is the torque. Oh, you know, basically what's around his neck. So, um, well, that looks like a torque right there. Um, where'd that pendant go? I had a pendant that I thought, oh, that's got a similar shape, but now I don't see it. I thought I had a pendant like that. Did I misplace something already, or weird? I thought I saw something like that. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Um. This this is calling out to me as being the possible thing. I have nothing to remark. It's got an uneven texture to it. It is bronze. That was one of the key things. It's bronze and it's in the same shape. Let's try it. Okay, so we're still, you know, we've still got this going well. This item is made of bronze. A similar looking item appears around the neck of Cernunnos in the sketch. Alright, so that's another identified object. We also got some new papers here. Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from Spirit Eyes, believing them to be a window into the world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps? A layer that requires something more than the traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Opposing symbols. Alright, well, that's the end of the day, so let's give Jupiter one more pet here. There you go, Jupiter. Good work. You didn't get into any mischief. We're going to end the day. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach the back barrow. Oh, okay, this is weird. Okay. So we just gotta follow this line here. We're doing connect the dots, everyone. Oh, yeah, it's like manacles of some kind. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. I wonder. An escaped prisoner. Is there a prison? Is there an old prison or something? I thought I saw. Yeah, the old jail is number 10 on the map. He ran northwest and hid me in the first building he came to. Yeah, so there's like a scavenger hunt with clues here. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all, when suddenly, and unexpectedly, I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. What did we find? Ooh, that isn't at all creepy. Alright, so there's like a whole scavenger hunt thing. We need an area just for the creepy stuff, I think. We'll put the creepy stuff here. Yeah, we need more room for like necklaces and stuff. This is kind of creepy too, really, but it's not the worst item. Alright, there we go. I mean, there's nothing saying we can't reorganize the shop. Now, is there, Jupiter? No, there isn't. You're not going to tell on me, are you? Verona Green. Ah, well, that's just perfect. Undermere fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of the bed. Those ravens have got under my skin is all. That's concerning. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Okay, will do. Oh, and we get a book. Let's take a look at it. Hermetic Symbology. Alright. These are the branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines represented by the following symbols. Alright, so Selenic is of the earth, Dradic is of the... or Selenic is of the moon, Dradic is of the earth. Okay, so yeah, that book, this book I think is going to be rather important later on. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here. I just briefly read through it. Interestingly, I noticed in particular this one here kind of stood out to me because I saw it on that bottle. So if someone comes in asking for a bottle of vinegar, I'm just giving them that. In particular, though, the imbuements I think is going to be very interesting for this. Ooh, poison. All right. See, this might help us figure out some of the artifacts a little bit easier. What's particularly interesting is I see protection right there. Huh. All right. Let's put the book away and let's get back to work. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. You came to the wrong place, lady. We're not a dating service. I heard a horned shackle might be the answer. A horned shackle. Okay. Let's look it up here. Horned shackle. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but but are more commonly totems of some kind. Okay, so we're looking for a totem or a pendant. It's got to have horns. I think we're pretty much just, yeah, we're just looking at stuff on this side of the shop at this point. Well, that's a pendant that's got horns. Pendant that has horns. I think that about covers it. We also have, like 2 animals here. Let's start with the pendants here. It's made of bone. It's yellowed white. I want to double check something in the book really quickly. Let's see here. Horn shackle is used to bring so it is in use. The horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth. Over the years, they can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. Actually, what did it say there? An example of an elaborate horn shackle. All right. Let's take a look at this. This is bronze. So that was bone. This is actually bronze. I'm feeling less confident some ways there. Let's look at these here. This is wood. This part feels smooth, while the rest is rough. The horns are smooth, the body's rough. Nothing to remark. Okay. What about you? What are you? You're made of clay. They're pointy. This is textured. And let's just go back to these for a second. Those are rigid. Hard and somewhat rough. Okay, so after going through these, I think we don't really have a lot of clues. I mean, technically, we've only got one kind of... It's either a necklace or a totem. It's got to have horns. But it talked about the horns being rubbed smooth. This, the horns were rubbed somewhat smooth already, so let's go with that first. Okay, we kind of lucked out there. The item has horns, yeah. Closer inspection reveals that the horns have been worn smooth. I feel like that's kind of, not ideal. A vesiger can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence, among other oddities. Flames burn pale blue in their presence. Oh, and we got candles, so if we, like, hold objects... Oh, look at... Oh, I think we've already identified that because the flames are turning blue in its presence. Well, how about that? I just picked that up for the heck of it. All right. Oh, David's back. Probably has another letter. At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the post. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plows overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours for the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. All right. Let's go ahead and do that really quickly, but first let's put that in there. Oh. Okay. Oh, and as we do stuff, it actually kind of gets like checked off here in the archive. I didn't. All right, that's neat. Oh yeah, we could just hit explore. We don't have to. All right. So, oh, here we are. 30 Royston Farm. Where's 30 on the map? Royston Farm. It would be nice if we could just click on it here and stuff. All right, let's click on the Royston Farm. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly... Good grief! I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Wow, what is going on with me today? Okay. What did we get? Ooh. See, I think it's important that we collect these strange items and stuff, because we don't want, it's kind of like the Warehouse 13 or the Librarians kind of scenario there, where we don't want this stuff just out and about in public. Isn't that right, Jupiter? Jupiter agrees. Stanley Hume. I want an Osiric ring. That... the S is pleading more. Hold... Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm a little bit worried because I know we just got the papers for that. Osiric ring. Yeah, this is the one that hisses when we hold it up to our ear. So it's somewhat macabre in nature. Produces an unearthly hiss. Alright, let's start with the really creepy items. This has an energy about it. Alright, so we don't hear anything. I don't even want to touch this more than I have to. I really... Iron, gray metal flecked with dark red. It's not rust, it's blood. Yeah, I think this is an item that needs to be locked up. A huge black gemstone streaked with red. Clutched in like an iron claw. This is polished, this is rough. We don't get any feeling from it. Okay. Well, this thing's made of, like, bones, it looks like, right? What color and composition? Bone, yellowed, white. Alright. A soft sound like a serpent's whisper and... Okay, here we go. That's it. This has got to be it. I mean, so far this has been going pretty easy for us, but... Alright, it's made of bones. This item satisfies the description of macabre, and closer inspection confirms that a hissing noise can be heard. Alright. So yeah, macabre. Yay. Holgen Grim. These eerie creatures are worn by priests of Holgar in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolfsong's truth to seek his judgment, path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. Maybe it's this mask. Because you could wear the mask. And it looks like he's wearing a mask. The mask has like little horns on it. I mean, this is my best bet if we have to... If someone comes in asking for that, it's going to be a rough day. A friend of mine, or former friend, I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. This isn't the police station, lady. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Oh dear. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? Ooh. You know, if you really want this to stop, quit letting her in your house. So we actually get a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside the show. Okay, so we can go with a binding seed or a Zia. Let's look those both up. Binding seed first, because alphabetical. These items are made of 2 distinct materials representing the mantic and wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind is described by a described by a spiral encompassing the body of a seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. Ooh. A yew labyrinth at a castle Morgan, a larger-than-life binding seed. Okay. And, oh, wait, Zia, right. What's a Zia? Worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart, these innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Uh-oh. Zias are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. Makes you kind of wonder how one is really made then, if, you're not carving something. Alright, so the Zia is out. We are not giving a Zia because they are difficult to remove, and that could come back to haunt us. Right. Out of curiosity, I mean, which one of these could be a Zia? I mean, just out of curiosity. I don't get any feeling from that. Nothing from that. Ooh. That could cause some paranoia. That might be the Zia. Cut in here. Okay, so this one's interesting. I don't like how this makes me feel. It's got a stone and we got kind of a wrap around it. It is in the form of a necklace. I think that might be a binding seed because we got like the stone and kind of the idea of it being encased in wood there. So kind of like the yeah. All right. That could be it. I don't think we really have anything else that works. But I am going to definitely move this thing. Can we move this thing lower down here? I think we need to move anything that's incredibly questionable to the lower shelves here. I think that's all right. Yeah. We'll keep the stuff that is like, ooh, if you're asking for this, you're up to no good. Yeah, that's going to end up on the shelves. But I think this is probably what we're looking for. I think this is a binding seed. So let's try it. Binding seed. The item is made of 2 materials, wood and stone. It features a spiral surrounding a seed. Yeah, alright. Wow. So far, so good. Shield charm. Generic charm of protections have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but have some small effect. An oceanic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. Uh-oh. All black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a Libula to see us safely through. Libula, huh? Could be Lubula. Alright, that's in the book. The Boule are purported to offer reassurance in terms of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that Libula is not merely decorative. There is power in symbology, and the old thaumaturges knew well. Interestingly, yeah, so wisdom only appears with Libula. Interesting. Let's consult that other book here for a second. What's the symbol for wisdom? That's the symbol for wisdom. So he's looking for something. I don't see how a Libula is really what he needs. I feel like he's kind of well, let's just offload this on him. I'm sure he'll feel perfectly safe with that in his vehicle as he's driving down the road. Well, that's got the symbol. That's the symbol of protection, isn't it? And it's surrounded by another symbol, but that's not it. That's not it. We know what that is. That's the symbol for wisdom. Let's give this a try. Alright, we got it right. So far, still 100%. This item bears a symbol of wisdom. Alright, well, good luck on your journey. Witch's Finger. Witch's fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body. The most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. That's not at all unpleasant. Okay, that's the end of the day. Could this be a witch's finger? It's certainly unpleasant enough about, and stuff. Well, good work again, Jupiter. You didn't knock over anything. For a cat, that's pretty good. Thanks for playing the Strange Antiquities demo. There's a lot more to uncover in the full version of the game, more gameplay elements to discover that we won't spoil for you here, more secrets to unearth, and a sinister plot involving ancient deities, dark articles, and a meddlesome priest that will lead to one of several unique endings. Well, I have to say, this was a great demo. I enjoyed it. I will be wishlisting this game, but let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more videos like this one. Have a great day, everyone.